continue collecting, and remember, stay casual. Welcome back, casual collectors. I'm Steel Wolf.
And Spider Kid.
And today we're bringing you a review of the Galaxy's Edge Camtono.
Alright, so we picked it up at Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge at Dock Ondors. The price is $49.99, but if you do have a Magic Key, the 20% one, you can bring it down to $40.
Keep in mind, folks, it's no longer exclusive to Galaxy's Edge. You can actually now find it at Downtown Disney in the Star Wars Trading Post, and also on shopdisney.com.
Alright, and for packaging, literally what you see is what you get. There wasn't really any packaging besides just the only thing is just being like a little booklet that shows you how it works and how to open it. And it kind of sucks because it kind of tells you that they didn't really care about like putting it in a nice box so you can at least have it so it won't be scratched.
Yeah, I think having a box would have been nice, especially if you're at the park. I mean, carrying it around can be a hassle as it is, and especially if you kind of put it down somewhere, you don't want it to get scratched up or anything like that. So having a box with it would have been nice. Even if it was just a brown shipping box would have been fine. But unfortunately, what you see is what you get.
I mean, there are some people like me that do kind of like it, like something that already looks kind of like damaged. That it's okay, like if it gets dirty a little bit, as long as you can clean it off, because it kind of adds to it to be being damaged.
I don't know. I mean, if I'm paying money for it, I don't want it damaged. Plain and simple for me.
That is true, yeah. Alright, with all that said, let's see our prize from getting our bounty.
So let's take a closer look here at some of the details on the Camtono itself. So right away, we can see that they definitely tried to add some kind of weathering to it, as you can see right here. Looks like something's been dripping down on it. You can also see like these little scuff marks on the paint, so they kind of tried their best, to give it that weathered look, and for the most part it works, but I feel like what they did was a little bit too subtle, as you can see. Like you can kind of notice it more here on top where it kind of just looks dirtier, and that's just what they did for the weathering. So it doesn't look bad, although I feel like it could have been better. You can see it a lot better on this side here. So it does have weathering, just not the best. And as for the scuff marks, it's kind of just random everywhere, as you can see here. There's like the bottom of it, you can see more scuff marks, and all in all, it looks really cool. It's a big item. There's not much detail, but there doesn't need to be, it's plain and simple. It's just a carrying case for, personal belongings or very valuable items. Now, let's take a look at the top here again. This is a part up here where you can hold it, to carry it around, this way here.
It just sucks though how it's not really that much of a pocket for you to put your whole hand in.
Yeah, as you can see, that's as much as I can get my hand in there. So that's the most unfortunate part about this, is that you can't really put your hand in there, so it makes it very difficult to carry it around that way. But here in the front, though, we have that there is a little bit of details here. There's like a little rivet, and then here you have where you enter your code to actually unlock this, because this is a makeshift little safe where you can keep stuff in here, and you can actually set a password and unlock it and lock it. So pretty neat. So let's go ahead and turn this guy on. And as you can see down here, you can turn it on. Boom. So once you turn it on, everything functions. So again, not much to talk about when it comes to details. It's pretty much the same all around. Let's go ahead and show you guys what kind of batteries it takes. So to find the battery compartment, as you saw earlier, it's going to be at the bottom of the Camtono itself, right here. And you're just going to get a screwdriver with Phillips and undo this little slot here. And you're going to need 3 AAA batteries. Now be advised that there is going to be a little plastic piece right here that's going to prevent the batteries from being in contact with the Camtono itself. So make sure you pull that out first, and it should function. And it does come with the batteries already installed, so you won't have to change these batteries out, at least not anytime soon from when you purchase it. So just remember, 3 AAA batteries. So once you power it on, you can go ahead and activate your Camtono. Now, right when you purchase this guy, there is no real password set. So all the Camtonos come with the same exact password at first. You can actually reset the password and set one for yourself. The only thing is, though, to set the password, you're going to have to hold down this button right here for about 3 seconds. The light's going to start flashing green, and once it does that, then you're going to input your code. Now, this first switch here is considered toggle switch 1, toggle switch 2, and toggle switch 3. And your password must be a combination of any of these 3, and it has to be 6 presses. So for example, you can do 2, 2, 2. Okay, so as long as it's 6 presses total, you're good with any combination of these 3. So out of the box or out of the store, it's going to have the same password as everyone else's, which is 6 presses of this first button here. So let's go ahead and give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there it is. It's unlocked. Now, once it's unlocked there, we're going to twist the handle up here, which is also the carrying handle, and it's going to spring open. Alright, so we're going to have Spider Kid demonstrating how to unlock the Camtono. So the switch is already turned on at the bottom, and all he has to do now is go ahead and hit toggle switch 1 6 times, which is going to be the default password. And there you go, voila. So very cool feature, you know, it opens up like that. The only thing I think it's missing is just that whoosh, kind of hydraulic sound, you know, that like when you hear a ship's hatch open up. I think it's missing that kind of sound effect, but you know, whatever, it didn't have it. But as you can see, the light is still green, we have our doors open, and you have some storage space inside. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the inside of the Camtono. So as you can see, it's kind of like a nice matte finish to it, and it's just plastic in here, so there's no padding in here at all, it's just plastic. But these doors on the inside, there is like a softer, kind of like a cloth material that's actually used with these doors inside. Other than that, this material is not found anywhere else other than the inside of those doors. Now we also do get a pretty cool little light feature inside, as you can see right there, just turned off on us. So let's get it back on. And as you can see, we got that light. Unfortunately though, that light sucks. It doesn't do much on illuminating anything inside the Camtono at all. Even with the lights dimmed, I still don't think it would do a pretty good job. It's a super dim light. So it's almost a feature that's there that's kind of useless because it doesn't really function the way that it should. It should have been a little bit more brighter to kind of give like a little bit of an arc going down, you know, to illuminate whatever treasures or illegal contraband you have in there. So yeah, that's definitely a missed opportunity. So now to give you an idea of how big the space is inside, let's go ahead and put in there the Disneyland Galaxy's Edge Jedi Holocron, because that guy will fit in here pretty well. But you can't put the Sith one in it as well. There definitely is not enough room in here for the Sith Holocron. So it's either one or the other. Unfortunately, you can't put a lightsaber in there either. They're just way too big. You might be able to put Palpatines. What do you think? Think Palpatines might fit in there?
Yeah, and then maybe Yoda's also.
Yeah, since those are technically a little smaller, they may be able to fit in there. Unfortunately, we don't have either or, but I want to say they might. Don't quote us on that though, because I don't think they will, but it's possible. So other than that, I mean, you know, use your imagination. You guys can put other stuff in there. If you have any of the Galaxy's Edge coins, credit collection coins that they've released, you can put a bunch of those in there. Unfortunately, they haven't released any kind of Beskar metal, because I mean, I think that would be the ideal thing to store in there, would be a couple of little bricks of the Beskar metal. To give you guys an idea of how much space you have in there, we're going to go ahead and place a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian figure inside. So as you can see, that's about how much room we got in there, and that's a 6-inch Black Series Mandalorian. So alright, so basically to close it back up, you're going to just basically get these little doors, and you're just going to put them back in place. You're going to push forward until you hear a click, just like that. And you're going to do the same with the other ones. There you go, and the same with this last one. And then you're going to turn your dial up here. This guy's got to turn back into a spot so that it can lock. And you see how the light turned off? Now it's locked. And again, to set up your own combination, you're going to hold down this button until it starts blinking. Once it does that, you're going to enter your combination using any of these 3 buttons. Just remember that the combination has to be a total of 6 presses. 6 presses. The default combination is going to be 6 presses of the first toggle switch. Alright, and in case you guys don't know what this thing is here, like I said, it's basically a safe. That's what it functions like in the Star Wars universe. They keep, you know, high-end products in here, jewelry, you name it, things that are expensive or, you know, super private or whatever. That's what they used to keep in there, which is why it has a combination code. Now, for you diehard fans, you might remember this in The Empire Strikes Back, that a rebel soldier was seen carrying one of these things in his arms. But back then, they actually used an ice cream maker, and it was very noticeable. Everybody definitely spotted that one. So you guys know what I'm talking about. So that's what this thing is supposed to be. Now, obviously, later on, they redesigned it, you know, and now this is what it looks like. Now, most recently, this thing was used in The Mandalorian Season 1, where the client actually presented this to Din Djarin filled with Beskar plates inside for his armor. And we later saw it again multiple times, as well as we saw it in the Book of Boba Fett. I believe they had credits in there or something like that. So yeah, so it's definitely popped up even more. In fact, we even got a miniature scale size of this thing for the Star Wars Black Series, the client. So final thoughts. Is this a cool item? Hell yeah. Very cool item. Something that I thought that they'd never bring into the prop replica kind of thing, you know? I love prop replicas, especially when they're not too crazy expensive, and I think this one sits pretty good at the price that they're asking for, which is $50. And if you have that magic key discount, even better, because that drops it down to about $40. I mean, if you want to compare it, that freaking Holocron was $50. You know, with the magic key, that thing went down to 40. But between the Holocron and the Camtono, I don't know, it's kind of a tough one. I mean, if you're looking at sheer size and value, definitely the Camtono. It's just way bigger. But if you're looking for more nostalgia, then probably also the Camtono. I mean, unless you just really want the Holocron, I mean, that works too, you know? Especially if you have a bunch of, you know, Jedi crystals or Sith crystals that you want to use it with. But definitely a cool item. I like the functionality of it. I like that it's not just a prop, that you can actually use it as something. You can store stuff in here, which is very cool if you ask me. I like the fact that you can change the combination to whatever you want, and it functions like a save.
So I think this is pretty cool. It sucks that there's no sound to it, but overall though, it does make up with the way it looks. Now, as of recording this is now available on Shop Disney and on the Downtown Trading Post in Downtown Disney.
All right, it's that time again, folks, for our rating. And as always, you can see that rating there on the left. And I'm going to have to go ahead and give this guy a rating of...
I'm going to give this a rating of...
3.
And that's going to do it for our review on the Disneyland Camtono. I'm Steel Wolf.
and Spider Kid.
Continue collecting, and remember, stay casual.